Hello again. In this third section, we will discuss the differences between renting an office from a private individual that owns only one or several office units and a professional income-producing real estate company that specializes in renting office spaces. Almost every company wants to make cosmetic changes or adjustments in the division of the office for its needs. Renovating an office is an expensive procedure and requires time to deal with that companies usually don't have. Dealing with the issue is always a headache that both parties want to end as quickly as possible. The first question that is asked in this context is, from whom do you rent the office? There are two main options: private individuals who purchased an investment office, or real estate companies that own normally the entire office building. When renting from a private landlord, you usually encounter resistance or difficulties in getting him to renovate the office for you. For him, the cost of the renovation is expensive, requires work, and mainly damages the ability of the individual property in his possession to generate a good return. Its main drawback is that every year, almost in today's market, a tenant changes, and every year the owner of the property has to give grace or deal with a client who needs him to come to meet him because he wants to renovate and change the layout of the office. Private individuals usually own offices 100-300 meters in size, and most of their potential tenants are small to medium-sized companies, young startups, and the like. On the other hand, the advantage of renting from a private person is that he is more stressed. Every day that passes that the property is not rented affects him a lot, and therefore he is more flexible and wants to finish renting the office as soon as possible, for all that this implies. When renting from a real estate company, Azrieli, Amott, Levenstein, etc., that owns several thousand of square meters, you don't encounter any difficulty in having them do the renovation for you. On the contrary, large companies know how to renovate cheaply and quickly and know how to provide answers and solutions for almost any budget. The disadvantage in dealing with them is the contract period they request for the actual renovation. The minimum contract period with these companies is 3 years. Mostly they push for 5. And this issue conflicts with a lot of high-tech companies that make up the majority of office turnover in the economy today because they do not want to commit to long periods. We don't know if they will survive until next year, will be sold, or will triple their size. And sometimes these two, young high-tech companies and the real estate companies, do not manage to work together. Another disadvantage of renting an office from the real estate giants is the lack of flexibility in commercial terms. These companies report income and will not let anything change their balance sheet. The prices are pretty fixed, the discounts are pretty much the same, another new grace, less than a month grace, and the price flexibility is small. Although these companies do everything they can to be without vacant spaces for rent, they know how to live well with spaces like this, and this is something that is taken into account in their yield calculations. On the other hand, the advantage of renting space from such a company. If you are a slightly mature and stable company, then the ability to grow or shrink according to the needs or changes is an issue that they knew how to provide a solution and answer for due to the thousands of square meters they own. What a private person will not be able to provide, even if he owns 3 or 4 offices that he rents out for investment purposes. Another matter is the nature of the assets. The big real estate companies own office towers. The investors/private individuals also own areas in the towers, as well as buildings for conservation and offices in smaller buildings, boutique properties you could say. There is a lot more to cover regarding this issue, as there are so many different landlords and no single truth. Thank you for watching.